What up, YouTube? I am Dom Knight. This is Knight Talks. And we're back with another Am I The Ahole? Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. Help me hit my goal of 400 subs by the end of February. Huge goal, some size, but my eyes are on the prize and I can't do it without you. All right, first story. Am I the a-hole for interrupting my ex-husband's birthday and taking my daughter home because she went without my consent? I'm a 35-year-old female. My husband is a male 37. We got separated 1 year ago. We share custody of our 15-year-old daughter. My ex-husband has her for certain days, and his birthday didn't fall on one of these days. In fact, it fell on one of the days when my daughter is supposed to be with me. He called me so we could discuss letting him have my daughter on the day of his birthday, but I told him no because it is not his day to have her. And he got my daughter involved and she said she really wants to go. I said no because I have my reasons. My ex-husband dropped it, but on the day of his party, I went to pick up my daughter up from school, but I discovered that he came and took her straight to the restaurant where his birthday party was taking place. I was fuming. I called him, but he didn't pick up. I then called my daughter, and she said she was with him. I used my location feature to track her phone and got the address. I showed up and interrupted the party. My ex-husband started arguing with me, but I told him he had no consent to have my daughter with him that day, but he said my daughter wanted to be there for his birthday. My former mother-in-law tried to speak to me and I told her to stay out of it, and then my daughter to grab her stuff because we were leaving. My ex-husband and family unloaded on me and tried to ignore them and just leave, but my daughter made it hard for me. I took her home eventually and grounded her for agreeing to leave school with her dad when it wasn't his day. Her dad called me yelling about how bitter and spiteful I was to deprive my daughter from attending his birthday. I told him it's basic respect and boundaries, but he claimed it was just me being spiteful and deliberately hurtful towards him, that I didn't even care how it affected my daughter. I hung up, but more of his family members started blasting me on social media, saying I showed up and made a scene at the restaurant, went as far as calling me unstable. Am I the a-hole? Well, yes. You are the a-hole. First things first, it takes two to tango. Two, that means that half of that kid is your husband. All right? I understand. It's not his day, sure. It is his day, though. It's his freaking birthday, okay? This happens one time a year. Your daughter wants to go, all right? And you're telling her no for your own petty, spiteful reasons. Let's keep it real. You're being a jerk because of your own personal issues you have with your ex-husband, all right? You should be happy that you have a husband, ex-husband, whatever, that wants to be in his daughter's life, that is doing the right things by his daughter, taking care of his daughter, wants her around, all right? Because there's too many guys out here that don't want to be in their kids' life, that don't take care of their daughters. So you need to be grateful for that, all right? What is the big deal, okay? She goes to the party for what, 2-3 hours, all right, and comes home so she can spend time with her father on his day. That is not a big deal. You were being petty and spiteful, okay? That's all it is. You're being a jerk about it. Then you go there and make a huge scene on this man's birthday in front of his whole family. Like, what's wrong with you, lady? Come on. This could have waited. She's already there. You should have just let her stay there. All right. Finish out the party, then come home and talk to her about it afterwards. Then you're grounding her because her dad came and picked her up. Lady, you're going to ruin your relationship with your daughter, okay? Don't be shocked if she doesn't want anything to do with you when she gets older. Because I don't know, the way you are in this situation, just give me a little thought as to why you might be separated from him to begin with. All right, but I don't know everything, so I can't say anything, but this is not cool. You are the a-hole. So I'm going to give you a 6.5 out of 10 for this one. I'm going to give your husband, I'm going to give him 1 just for kind of going behind your back and doing it. But still, I get it. It's his daughter. He has right to her too. And I'm gonna give your daughter 0 because she's just a pawn in your two's little terrible game you're playing, and y'all are pulling tug of war with her. Sounds like you're pulling harder. All right, next story. Whew. My fiance invited 2 men who she slept with to our wedding, and I'm not okay with it. So my fiance and I are currently going through the process of planning out who we are inviting to our wedding. I'll just say this now. Unbeknownst to me, my fiance is inviting 2 guy friends of hers that she hooked up with at the same time. You know, little choo-choo. One of these guys is in her bridal party. Now, I'm not a prude or anything, and I'm not obsessed with her sexual past. I'm a firm believer of ignorance being bliss, but now I'm not ignorant, and I'm lacking bliss. I found out because one of my friend's girlfriends is helping us with planning. This girl apparently knew about the guys and told my friend. He then told me. I thought he was just effing with me and didn't believe me. Then I mentioned it to my fiance and she confirmed it was true. I didn't interrogate her. I mentioned it offhand as a stupid remark and she admitted to it and got mad at her friend. So after some thinking, I decided I wasn't comfortable having these guys at our wedding. I get that it happened before we met and there's really no effect on our relationship, but I'm just not comfortable with having 2 guys at Eiffel Tower, the woman I'm about to marry, at my wedding. I'm not judging her. I'm not comfortable with it, and I don't think that it's unreasonable. I never invite an ex-fling because she doesn't need to be there. So one of the guys is a good friend of hers and was gonna be a bridesman. Yeah, that's, well, all right. And my fiance got upset with me. She told me I was being insecure, and it's not fair to her to not have her friends on her wedding day. I told her it's just as much my wedding day as it is hers, and considering how accommodating I've been to her wants for an ideal wedding. It's kind of selfish for her to not be willing to accommodate one request. I don't think I feel comfortable saying my vows when directly behind my wife is a guy who grabbed a buddy and slept with her. It's just gross and I don't like it. What should I do? Dude, this freaking sucks. Okay. I like to try and keep my own personal feelings out of this, but it's kind of hard not to. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw them in here. First things first, this is you finding out that your wife has been tag teamed by 2 dudes. You're finding this out right before you get married. That sucks. Okay. Some guys are like, oh, I don't care what she's done in the past, yada yada. Bro, if you didn't know about this, there's probably a lot more you don't know about with her. And the fact that she still has these dudes is good enough friends that she wants them to be in her bridal party. So what, are they gonna wear tuxes and walk down? And like, I don't even understand how that's gonna go as far as how the wedding's gonna go. Whatever. Like, now your husband has to look at these dudes who, and all he can think about is, you know what? That's all he can think about. Bro, I do not blame you in the least for not wanting these guys at your wife's wedding. Okay? She's a jerk because she didn't tell you. All right? The moment she invited these guys is the moment she should have told you, just in case somebody happened to spill the beans. She shouldn't be mad at her friend. Her friend was just being honest. And she probably was like, wow, I can't believe she invited these dudes to her freaking wedding. And her husband has no idea who these guys are. He's probably shaking their hands, having drinks with them, hanging out, yada, yada, yada. And lo and behold, these guys have been, doing the deal with your wife. You don't know if these guys are still doing the deal with your wife. I'm gonna be honest, like, this almost sounds like a relationship advice thing, but he wants to know if he's the a-hole because, he wants them out the wedding. So I'm not gonna get too much into the relationship advice side of it. I'm gonna stick to more so of the a-hole side of it. So, sir, I'm giving you a fat 0 out of 10 because I think any guy would feel like, I don't want these 2 dudes that I just found out had a choo-choo locomotive moment with my girl at my wedding. Hell, if it was me, I probably wouldn't want to marry her anymore. That's just me. Bro, no, you're not the a-hole. You need to lay down the law. Let her know these dudes will not be at the wedding. Okay? Hell, you should be like, you're lucky you're even still getting one after I'm finding out about this way. Terrible. Your fiance, she gets a 6.5 out of 10 because she hid this from you and then waited until like the very last minute to say something. And she, I mean, at least she was honest about it. I'll give her that, you know, when you confronted her. But she was not going to tell you ever. You were going to go through your whole marriage not knowing your wife had a wild side to her that you probably had no idea about. All right? So I'm going to give the friend who told also a 0 out of 10 because, hey, she was just chatting it up. And I think it was a good thing she told him. All right, next story. Would I be the a-hole if I lied about my fertility? So I'm a 28-year-old female. I've been with my partner for 7 years. We both knew early on in our relationship that we didn't want children. I knew from a young age I didn't want any. And always get the old, you'll change your mind when you're older, when you meet someone. Well, I have not. The thing is, people keep asking us, when are you guys having kids? We keep telling people we aren't, and they seem to believe us. Oh, you'll change your minds. Or, oh, you're so good with your nephew, you should have one of your own. They even ask us, why don't we tell them all the reasons? Some are quite personal. But we have several reasons for not wanting kids. And I know we shouldn't need to explain or defend ourselves. It is our decision. Now that we're planning to get married, people are asking more and more, and it's not like someone asks, we say we're not, and they drop it. The same people who ask repeatedly, family, friends, coworkers, whatever. They're all at it. I'm not sure why everyone is so invested in our reproductive plans, but quite frankly, it's beginning to feel like we're cattle they're trying to breed, particularly when it's my mother, who is obsessed with us having kids, as if that's all our purpose is. Anyway, I'm getting sick of considering next time someone is pestering me, just telling them we have fertility issues, as far as I'm aware. This isn't true, but you know, since we're not planning to have kids, it's not really something we've checked out. I feel this might be a problem, as it might seem I'm making light of people with such issues. However, my hope would be that initial shock of the comment might stop them from asking and get them to actually consider what they are doing, as I am sure they probably do this to other people. I know several people that actually do have fertility issues, and being asked stuff like this as often would be any annoyance and upsetting to them. I just want these people who keep asking to leave us alone with our reproductive or lack of desires and start thinking about what they're actually asking and saying. I can understand people asking once, do you have kids? Are you planning to have kids? But repeatedly and not accepting the answer, it's just making me feel like crap and like they think we're not worth anything beyond what drops out of us. Okay. First things first, I'm a guy, I'm getting older, and I also do not have kids. I have dealt with this from family, friends, whomever as well. Probably not as much as you because you are a woman. But I can't stand it either. I hate it. All right, because people seem to think that all we're put on this earth for is to reproduce. All right, yes, it is one reason why we were here biologically. We have evolved as humans, and not every person wants to be a parent. Not every person is obsessed with having kids like some other people are. Some people are just absolutely obsessed with kids and having kids. I personally think it's a little bit weird, the level some people take it to, but whatever. If you want kids, you love kids, cool. That's your life. But don't try and impose your views on someone else. It's just like when a religious person is trying to shove their beliefs down your throat. You don't have to take care of these kids. If you guys are pressuring these people to have kids, they don't want kids. You just make it seem like having kids is like, you know, going to the gym, you know, like it's something so simple you just do and it's whatever. Like it's it's washing your damn car or something. No, having kids is a giant responsibility. It's a drain on you financially. It's a drain on you mentally, emotionally. It can come in between your relationships, all that. Okay, having kids is not something you just do, and it's not something everybody's built for, and it's not something that everyone wants. All right, so I understand your frustrations and why you're getting sick of being asked this question, 100%. So I'm gonna give you a 0 out of 10 if you want to tell people that. If you want to tell people, hey, I have fertility issues, just to shut them up because it seems like they ain't accepted no other answer, whatever. That's your business, your private business, your personal life. These people need to let it go, leave you alone, and respect your decisions, okay? People feel like, oh, you don't have kids, you're selfish, you're this, you're that. No. It's selfish to bring a kid into the world knowing you don't want that kid in the world, okay? So guys need to leave her alone. You're not the a-hole. Do what you feel is best, all right? Me personally, I would just tell people, hey, I don't want kids, leave me the F alone, all right? But if you want to tell them that just to let them down easy, whatever, you do what makes you feel best because it sounds like you've been dealing with this for quite some time and you're probably getting sick of it, all right? Guys, I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks. Fun as usual. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more content, hit the bell so you do not miss a thing. I'll put my social medias right there for you. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll be back on Wednesday with a reaction.
That's ISO.
Peace.
Rack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post, the same now.